Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the Office of the Vice President OVP has collaborated with the provincial government of Albay PGA to extend vital services to marginalized and underprivileged communities, particularly in remote barangays across the province. Through the PGA's largest multi-services caravan, the GGL Caravan or Gobyernong Gumagalaw at Lumalapit sa Tao, the OVP has significantly expanded its medical assistance efforts, providing immediate support worth 5,000 pesos, including medications, insulin, wheelchairs, and other essential supplies. This collaborative effort highlights the commitment of both the OVP and the PGA to bring crucial government services closer to the people, ensuring that even the most underprivileged members of the society receive the support they need. In other story, Magallanes Mayor Maria Elena Ramona Ragrario believes that assuming responsibility as stewards of the environment is a key strategy to deter the ill effects of climate change. Ragrario, along with other LGU personnel and various stakeholders, attended the whole-day Incident Command System (ICS) executive course held April 3 at the Sorsogon State University in Magallanes, Sorsogon. Since she attended training to learn how to respond to disasters, especially since their municipality is prone to various hazards. The local chief executive said that during disasters, it is paramount to have a cohesive working group that will immediately assess and respond to a certain hazard or emergency. This, she said, is the reason behind their request for the ICS executive course from the Office of the Civil Defense. In other news, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD-5, through its Sustainable Livelihood Program, SLP, has awarded a 3 million peso seed capital funds to 201 beneficiaries from Iruis and Sorsogon. Ram Joseph Zaragoza, DSWD Bicol Project Development Officer for SLP, said 201 program participants were granted 15,000 pesos each as startup capital. He encouraged the beneficiaries to form an association to avail of the 5-year Livelihood Sustainable Plan, where the SLP is anchored. SLP's 5-year Livelihood Sustainability Plan responds to the need to improve the implementation process and timeline while strengthening the sequence of capability building activities and interventions to ensure the capacitation of SLP participants. In the national scene, the Philippine National Police PNP has appealed to fugitive televangelist Apollo Kibuloy to surrender to authorities. Police Major Catherine De La Rey, Police Region 11 spokesperson, assured Kibuloy that he will be safe and secured in police custody. De La Rey said that the cases Kibuloy is facing for alleged sexual abuse and child abuse are all bailable for 200,000 pesos and another 80,000 pesos. The televangelist's 5 co-accused in the cases earlier surrendered to the PNP and the National Bureau of Investigation and been released after posting bail. In other story, the Department of Education DepEd has implemented asynchronous classes, distance learning for all public schools nationwide today, April 8, 2024. This was made in order to allow learners to complete pending assignments, projects, and other requirements, according to their advisory released on Sunday, April 7. The department's advisory also noted that teaching and non-teaching personnel in all public schools shall not be required to report to their stations. DepEd, however, clarified that private schools shall not be covered by the announcement, but may opt to follow suit. The department has previously suspended on-site classes due to the extreme heat and unbearable temperature. In other news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is guarding against troops being recruited as analysts by China-based firms pretending to be from Western countries, but said it has no indication that any active military personnel have signed up. The Department of Information and Communications Technology this week warned that firms pretending to be based in the U.S. or in Europe have been trying to recruit retired and active duty military personnel into part-time jobs. Though further verification is yet to be done, Colonel Franzo Margaret Padilla, AFP spokesperson, said the military leadership is already warning troops against being lured into applying and eventually being recruited. And in the news outside the country, the Israeli military has withdrawn more ground troops from the southern Gaza Strip, leaving just one brigade there 6 months after the start of its offensive, a spokesperson for the force said on Sunday, April 7. The military has been reducing numbers in Gaza since the start of the year to relieve reservists and under growing pressure from its ally Washington to improve the humanitarian situation. It did not give details on its reason for withdrawing soldiers or the numbers involved. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel would not bend to international pressure and give in to extreme demands by Hamas, the Islamist movement that controls Gaza. In other story, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told China's Premier Li Qiang on Sunday, April 7, that the ability to have difficult conversations has put the two economic superpowers on a more stable footing over the past year. Yellen said at the start of a bilateral meeting with Li in Beijing that the two countries had a duty to responsibly manage a complex relationship as she brought her case for reining in China's excess factory capacity to the highest levels of the Chinese government. Yellen made this the threat of China's excess production capacity for electric vehicles, solar panels, and other clean energy products to producers in the U.S. and other countries a key focus of her second visit to China in 9 months. She visited Beijing in July 2023 to try to normalize bilateral economic relations. And finally, in the news outside the country, New Zealand on Sunday, April 7, said that it was making immediate changes to its employment visa program after a near-record migration last year, which it said was unsustainable. The changes include measures such as introducing English language requirement for low-skilled jobs and setting a minimum skills and work experience threshold for most employer work visas. The maximum continuous stay for most low-skilled roles will also be reduced to 3 years from 5 years. Last year, about 173,000 people migrated to New Zealand. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, April 8, 2024. We'll be right back Thursday for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Francois Boras, and on the technical side, Chad Bobbies. our Provincial Information Officer, Attorney Mary Ladura Castillo, and under the supervision of our Governor, Attorney Elsa Lagman, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.